And welcome to my Daggerfall Overlook decoration video, I guess. Apologies for the rain. I apparently just can never come here without it raining. So you're gonna have to get a tour in the rain. So I have decorated this Daggerfall Overlook home as the main estate for my Breton noble house, House Dubois. And the history of the family is that they were founded by a warrior, but they eventually evolved into a merchant and trading house. So the decorating sort of reflects both of those parts of the house history. So starting off on the grounds, mostly just put in a few little touches here and there, a few little flowers, some big trees. All of my houses have a crabapple tree in them. It's part of my role-playing house history. I like this fountain with the lion motif, and I added this sort of lion statue on top of it with a mag light. I love the mag lights. They're way too expensive in the Crown store, so it's just ridiculous, but I love them because they give off this really cool orange warm glow, and it really shows off statues and shows off in the nighttime really nicely. I've scattered a few statues randomly here and there. Up the stairs to this patio area. I like Daggerfall Overlook because it's really grand, but it's not incredibly spread out, so you don't have to wander around and decorate all these enormous different areas. It's very compact, but there's still plenty of room to play and decorate. And here is where I've placed a few more of my large statues, a couple pets, cute little dragon thing, tiger. Up here I have put an orc tent for a little outdoor like seating, dining, conversation area. And this odd gate here is just for personal fun. It's actually a diving board. You can go to the end and dive off, make a big splash, and then go back into the estate through the secret door that leads to the basement. I won't do that now, but it's fun. So back over this way we have another little outdoor seating area with a cozy little fire. Nothing fancy. Some more statues, and I've used another of those mag lights to light up the statue by embedding it in the shield. I just really do love the effect it gives. And I used one for this statue over here as well to get the same effect. In the dark, it looks especially cool. So over this way, I've taken this barn thing, used some, I believe they're elsewhere platforms to make walls and enclose it a bit, and just some decorative tapestries, banners there. And inside is where I've put all of my workshop items. Very convenient. I didn't waste a lot of, decorating item count to make this all pretty. It's just a functional space. And over here we have a little stable. Hello, horsies. There's a stable sign I saw at another person's house. I really want, so I want to get that and put that here, but I don't have it yet. And then up here, just a little storage downstairs. Now up here, I sort of imagine this as like a guard tower and barracks when I decorated it. But then I realized that these cool curtains here fit perfectly on these really long openings. So I'm thinking about getting a bunch more of those curtains. That'll be a lot of materials. And redecorating this with those curtains into something a little fancier. I'm not sure quite yet what that might look like, but we'll see. Oh, the rain stopped. Now we have fog. And then the fog stopped. Ah, that's much nicer. I love that huge tree. I forget which one that is, but I just love it. It's so pretty and green, and it creates so many interesting shadows. That's something I really like about decorating with trees. It creates all of these interesting shaded places and shadows on the ground. Okay, so the main house, I have some wreaths up for the New Life Festival. And another one of those awesome mag lights right over the door with like this family crest thing. I love those mag lights so much. I hate they're so friggin' expensive. So inside we start to really combine this past history of like a family or a Breton noble house that started as warriors but then evolved into this merchant trading family. So we have like these trophies from the warriors and then these odd collectibles that the traders and merchants have acquired over the years. And that starts right here in the entrance hall. This is a great little place to store a bunch of these little collectible statues and such. I am not one of those incredibly fancy decorators who I very much admire. I guess I'm just not that creative. And also I have this sort of OCD need to make everything very neat and orderly and symmetrical. So that's sort of what my decorating looks like. Now here in the main hall, I actually have this decorated right now for a casual night party for my Song and Shadow Guild role-playing next week. So it'll look a little different in normal time. Right now I have a little extra seating here in the middle and a whole bunch of food and drink items set out. More trophies on the wall and a nice little wreath, music box, which oddly doesn't seem to be playing right now, even though it's open. Here's a little buffet feast for the upcoming party. And a little mini bar over to the side here. A little tree. Normally I would actually have my merchant assistant standing there as a mock bartender, but there's some sort of glitch right now that is making them face like only one direction no matter how many times you put them down. So I've stuck both the assistants in the kitchen right now, because you can't place them like you want to. I hope that gets fixed soon. So this is just the upstairs nice kitchen. I have sort of another kitchen food prep area downstairs. This is where like the chef and her upper staff can have a little meal or sit down. And then over here, so the house has an Earl and a Countess at the head, so they have this little audience room to hear from their dependents and hold like their own little mini court, such. The house is dedicated to Zenithar, but there are no items for that divine that I can find, so I just sort of mocked up this shrine with a few random items, including the tablet from the lunar hall there. And again, I love lights, lights, lights. I love so many lights. I spend way too many of my item slots on lights because I hate dim, dark interiors. So, candles and chandeliers and lights. I have another one of those mag lights over there in the mouth of that big trophy. Alright, heading over this way. We will go downstairs first. I don't see any need to really decorate up these halls and waste item slots. Although I have seen some people make really gorgeous, like stairwells with all sorts of neat things, but I have other priorities. So this is sort of meant to be like a indoor kitchen herb garden thing. I've seen other people do this sort of thing way better than I did, but this is just sort of what I had on hand and was cheap. So this is how it ended up. Now down here is like the big prep kitchen. And the big fire pit, laundry area over here. Roasting some meat. Where we keep the stores. Big center prep island here. And then over here we have like the servants' dining area and like a little game table, some beds for them to sleep, wardrobes, and their own little bathing area. Also here is the trapdoor that goes outside to the ocean. I sort of covered it with a rug to make it a little less conspicuous, but that handle sticks up really high. And if I move the rug up that high, it looks bizarre, so just try not to notice that. And then over here, I used these wall pieces, or whatever they are, to make a wall. I wish they'd had something more like this stone that wasn't tiny little pieces, because it would have taken me like 50 of them to make the wall, and I wasn't going to do that. So I used these to make this wall, and then I built in another room here. This is sort of like IRP as the steward's little private domain. Alright, let's head upstairs, which is my favorite part of the house. I did put a little more decorating, just very minor, into this part, Because you're going upstairs into the fancy part of the house. Just a random painting. Lights everywhere. Some more trophies. And here is the Earl's study. And his countess wife also uses it. He is a scholar, writes books, previous Templar. So his office is very important for him. And that is his very annoying cat, who he calls Rat Bastard. Yes, Rat Bastard. Hello, kitty. Moving on, this is the main gallery, basically where the family shows off its wealth and some of the acquisitions that it's acquired over the years, purchases, things it found along the way, just being a merchant and a trader. I really like this room. Just knickknacks, vases, paintings, lots more lights. You can see down into the sort of audience room downstairs. Another one of those mag lights. This is supposed to be like the founder, a statue of the founder of the house. And he's holding an apple, because there's like this whole backstory about an apple tree for the house. I also have an apple tree planted at every one of my house properties because of that. There's just a little seating area over here. Now, if you have this house, you'll notice there's a wall here that normally isn't. This usually opens up into like this space where you can look down into the front entrance. Well, I thought it was kind of a wasted space, so I put up a wall using a big Breton carpet so that I could create an extra bedroom for another member of the house. Because there's only one true bedroom in this place, unless you count the room I made into an office, which I don't. So if you go up these little stairs and down, you come into this spare bedroom area. And I used some more of those big elsewhere platforms to make a floor. And then behind that carpet over there, I have all these trunks hidden away for storage. And the last room is the main bedroom for the Earl and his lady. So just try to make it cozy and warm. There's a bathing area here. The dresser area, the private gathering space, and then a big old fancy bed for the couple. I like it. So that's basically the house tour. This is really my favorite room. I had a lot of fun decorating it, figuring out this wall and spare room. Now we have to do one more thing before we close out our video. We have to go back outside for that. So if we go back over here to our outside area, you can hear the sounds of the ocean. I love it. Let me go right out here and jump! Whee! And then you can go back in the house. Do the trapdoor. And there you go. that is the end of our tour. My first big finished estate decorating. Thank y'all. Have fun.